Hello, the first Austrian space satellite was TUGSAT-1 by the Technical University of Graz. TUG actually stands for Technical University of Graz. Was placed in a low Earth orbit, LEO, on the 25th of February 2013. It was launched using an Indian rocket. The Technical University of Graz has hosted in April 2026 both the KD Mega Sprint and the Grazer Linux Tage 2026. I found out about this first Austrian space satellite at the Grazer Linux Tage 2026. The first Austrian satellite, 2010-2011, Technical University of Graz. Dimensions 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter by 22, 7 kilograms, receiver in UHF band and sender on S band. Launched with an Indian missile. And this is how the Earth station looks like, which is an UHF sender. And the replica of the satellite with its 4 antennas at the bottom. Thank you for subscribing and helping this YouTube channel. The KD Community's annual conference, Academy 2026, is going to take place in September at the University of Technology in Graz. One of the buildings of TU Graz in Infeldgasse campus hosts IKS, which is the TU Graz Institute for Communications, Networks and Satellite Communication. This is the place where TUGSAT-1 was designed, created and operated from the ground. The University of Toronto provided the manufacturing. The end of 2010, start of 2018 was the satellite probably ready, but it wasn't launched, put into orbit before February 2013. It's an optical satellite, measures light from very bright stars. Many of the students participated in this effort as part of their license thesis and master's thesis. This is a real size replica of the satellite, so again 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 25. The 4 antennas at the bottom, I'm going to guess, are for receiving, so UHF antennas. I'm not exactly sure where the S-band sender is, but the S-band parabolic antenna at the ground we can see in a further photograph. On the body of the cube there are photovoltaic cells for producing electricity from the sun. This is the ground station antenna, so this is the receiving end, S-band, placed on the top of a building. These are nano gyroscopes, probably for placing the satellite, but then I'm not sure if the satellite actually had a way to change its position in space. Image from one side of the cube with photovoltaic cells. A brief summary. First Austrian satellite, TUGSAT-1, BRITE-Austria, so the two names of the satellite. The model that we could see is actually 1:1 scale, 7 kilograms total, and from the solar panels, the photovoltaic cells could gather maximum 6 watts, which I'm not sure exactly what it is. How can it be so low? UHF and S-band, so UHF receiver, S-band emitter, and the emitter is 0.5 watt in power. Also inside the campus in Infeldgasse, there's what looks as a parabolic dish, probably from the same institute, probably still part of a ground station, but from a previous year than 2013. And the same ground station antenna from another angle from below. Next up, more technical details about the satellite. So it had 7 kilograms the cube, but there was also the 7 kilogram separation system that was attached to the satellite. The manufacturer was the University of Toronto, that has a manufacturing program for generic nanosatellite bus. The launching organization is ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization. The launch vehicle was PSLV, which is a rocket. The launch site was Satish on the island in Tirupati district. And the launch pad was the first one in there. This launch vehicle carried a large number of satellites. There's the Saral Ocean Research Satellite, Sapphire, Space Surveillance from Canada, Neosat, Microsatellite, and Strand, which is a very tiny satellite. The launch took place at noon UTC. The launch was perfect. All of its payload was sent successfully in orbit. This is the launch image. There are some articles. February 25th. Successful launch report. So BRITE-Austria is the satellite that we're looking at, which is TUGSAT. And then together with it was UniBRITE, which was not from the Technical University of Graz, but from the university in Vienna, which is the capital of Austria. So from the same country, there were two satellites, UniBRITE 2 from University of Vienna, TUGSAT from the Technical University in Graz, launched at the same time with PSLVCA rocket. Let's see how the launch had looked like. So the upper stage. So Saral, the oceanography research satellite, Franco-Indian. The two Canadian satellites, Sapphire and Neosat. Strand, the small one. and then the NLS payloads, which consist of UniBrite NLS 8.1, which is from the University of Vienna, and then NLS 8.2, which is our satellite, BRITE-Austria, from the Technical University of Graz, and the third one, NLS 8.3, from Australia. Yeah, scratch that. TUGSAT is from University of Aalborg in Denmark. The upper stage of the rocket PS-LVC-20. So at the very top, Saral, which is going to be released first. Then secondary payloads, Sapphire and Neosat. Dual launch adapter, inside a dual launch adapter. And then when the top one, Saral, is released, the section of dual launch adapter is going to be ejected second. And then the small ones at the bottom, TUGSAT, and then BRITE-Austria, UniBrite, and Strand. So the three ones, TUGSAT, BRITE-Austria, UniBrite, are at the belt in here, and then Strand is on the back. These articles are in a series sorted by date, where it says that UniBrite was made ready for launch by removing all remove before flight articles. That was February 16th. And then for BRITE-Austria, the same thing, same day. And then a photograph of the final upper stage. And then 21st, this is FLP, the first launch pod. So it took a day, February 21st, to move the rocket PS-LV-C20 and place it on the first launching pod. And then 4 days later, February 25th, 2013, was the successful launch in the afternoon, evening. And the final article from February 25th, successful launch, but also the nanosatellites have decoupled from the rocket together with their X-pod separation systems, but then the three nanosatellites have actually separated from the X-pod separation systems, the 7 kilograms extra separation system. And then there was confirmation from all the ground stations of the nanosatellites, Toronto, Graz, and Aalborg.